Google just turned the Office software used by hundreds of millions of people into an AI machine that can literally write your documents, build your spreadsheets, design your presentations, and even search your files like a human assistant. And this isn't a concept demo. It's happening right now inside Google Workspace. But here's the crazy part. This update isn't just about adding another AI button. Google is quietly rewriting how Office work itself happens. Instead of humans building documents step by step, I can now create entire workflows from a single sentence, and with over 300 million active workspace users and nearly 3 billion people inside Google's ecosystem. This might be one of the biggest AI deployments we've seen so far. So what exactly changed? And why are Microsoft and Google suddenly racing to turn Office software into AI operating systems? Let's break it down. First, you need to understand Google's strategy here. Most AI tools today live in separate apps. You open Chat, Claude, or another chatbot, generate something, then manually paste it into your work. Google is killing that step entirely. Instead of switching between tools, Gemini now lives directly inside Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Google Drive. The AI appears exactly where work already happens, and that small change completely transforms the experience. Take Google Docs, for example. Instead of staring at a blank page, you can type something like, write a community newsletter using my HOA meeting notes and the event list from January. Within seconds, Gemini produces a full draft. But here's where it gets interesting. The system isn't just generating random AI text. It actually scans your Google Drive files, Gmail messages, and even relevant web information to build the document using real context connected to your account. So the AI isn't guessing. It's assembling information that already exists in your ecosystem, and if you don't like the result, you don't start over. You simply talk to it. You can tell Gemini to shorten sections, expand details, reorganize the structure, or completely change the tone. But Google added something even more powerful, a feature called match writing style. One of the biggest complaints about AI writing is that it sounds robotic. This system analyzes documents you've written in the past and adjusts the generated text so it actually sounds like you wrote it. Think about what that means. Instead of generic AI writing, the system learns your personal voice. And there's another feature called match document format. Imagine you have a travel itinerary template you always use. Gemini can scan your emails, extract things like flight bookings, hotel reservations, and car rentals, then automatically place them inside your template. So instead of copying information between tabs for 20 minutes, the AI builds the document for you. Now let's move to the place where most people struggle the most. Spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are incredibly powerful tools, but designing them is confusing for a lot of people. What columns do you need? What formulas should exist? How should the data be structured? Gemini can now design the entire spreadsheet automatically. For example, you could type, organize my move to Chicago, create a packing list by room, track quotes from moving companies in my inbox, and add contact info for utilities, and Gemini builds the spreadsheet from scratch. Tables, categories, structure, even dashboards. But the automation goes even further. There's a feature called Fill with Gemini. Instead of manually typing information into rows and columns, the AI can populate the spreadsheet itself. Imagine you're tracking college applications. Normally, you'd open dozens of websites to find deadlines, tuition fees, and application requirements. With Gemini, you drag down a column, and the AI fills the information automatically using data from the internet. Searching, organizing, and entering the data suddenly becomes one single action, and the results are already impressive. In a real-world benchmark called Spreadsheetbench, Gemini running inside Google Sheets achieved a 70.48% success rate, which puts it surprisingly close to the level of human spreadsheet experts. But the biggest shift might actually be happening inside Google Slides, because let's be honest, creating presentations is one of the most painful parts of Office work. You spend hours structuring slides, writing text, adjusting layouts, picking colors. Now, you can simply describe the presentation you want. Something like, create a 5-slide presentation for my upcoming trip to Tokyo. Gemini generates the entire slide deck, structure, content, layout, everything. And if something looks off, you just tell the AI, change the design, shorten the text, adjust the colors to match a brand style. You're basically directing the presentation like a creative assistant instead of building it manually. But the most underrated update might be happening inside Google Drive, because cloud storage has a huge problem. After a few years, your drive turns into a chaotic pile of hundreds, sometimes thousands, of files. You remember what's inside a document, but you can't remember the file name. Maybe you remember something like the presentation we showed the audit committee, or the document mentioning last year's revenue numbers. Traditional keyword search fails in those situations. So Google introduced something called AI overviews in Drive. Instead of searching by keywords. You can describe the document you're looking for in normal language. The AI interprets your intent, scans your files, and extracts the most relevant results. In other words, your cloud storage starts behaving less like a folder system and more like a personal knowledge database. There's also another feature called Ask Gemini inside Drive. This lets you ask complex questions across multiple sources at once: documents, emails, calendar, events, even web information. All of it can contribute to the answer. For example, you could select your tax document and ask, "What questions should I ask my tax advisor before filing this year's return?" Gemini analyzes the files and generates recommendations based on the actual information inside them. So the AI isn't just generating text. It's reasoning over your data. But while Google is transforming productivity tools on one side, they're also making a massive move on the infrastructure side because the company just released a new model called Gemini embedding. This part might sound technical, but it's actually extremely important. Embedding models are what allow AI systems to understand relationships between pieces of information. They convert content into mathematical vectors so machines can compare meaning. But here's the limitation. Older systems had text, images, audio, and video often required separate models. Gemini embedding removes the barrier. It maps text, images, video, audio, and PDF documents into a single shared embedding space. That means developers can search across completely different types of media using one system. For example, a frame from a video could be linked to spoken dialogue in the audio track, and both could match a text query. Even more interesting, the model uses something called Matryoshka representation learning, or MRL. Traditional embedding systems store information across thousands of dimensions, making them expensive to store and search. MRL changes the structure. The most important information is packed into the earliest dimensions of the vector. So developers can use shorter vectors for fast, large-scale searches, then re-rank results using the full embeddings. The result? Faster search with less computing power, which is exactly what large AI systems need. So when you zoom out, something bigger becomes clear. Google isn't just adding AI features to Workspace, they're turning everyday productivity software into an AI-native work environment. Documents can write themselves, spreadsheets can build themselves, presentations can design themselves, and your entire cloud drive can act like a searchable knowledge base. At the same time, Google is upgrading the infrastructure developers use to build the next generation of AI systems, which means Gemini isn't just entering Office software. It's expanding across the entire AI ecosystem, and with billions of users already inside Google's platforms, this update might quietly change how work gets done across the world. But the real question is, if AI can now create documents, analyze spreadsheets, design presentations, and reason over your files, what exactly will office work look like 5 years from now? Because if this is the starting point, the next updates are going to get even crazier.